Welcome to the Shoujo podcast, where we talk about shoujo anime and are accompanied by cute, maybe slightly overweight kitty cats. Or is that bad?
The answer is yes.
Is that going to hurt his feeling? Okay. Okay.
Criticizing my girlfriend's cat
Sarah.
out the gate.
That's Joe. Yes. We love a tubby kitty. And yeah, we are covering Revolutionary Girl Utena episodes 10, 11, 12 today. And this show is underway now, and I super digging these episodes. These were good, plotty episodes.
Okay. Good.
Yeah, we're here.
I never know.
The show is here.
I never know how you're going to react to stuff, you know? We've been having some differing opinions
coffee right?
recently.
Sorry, I got distracted by your cup of coffee and filled with envy.
This is tea. It's raspberry tea. Cranberry tea.
Envy dissipated.
What is it?
No, yeah, I think it was like kind of zany and kooky, and it's like, that's charming, but like, it's not what I want most of my show to be, and that's what it felt like most of the show up to this point had been. But I really liked this set of episodes where we're like getting to it.
Yeah. You like it when the screen flashes.
I was like, someone's gonna have a seizure watching this episode. One of these episodes was just constant.
Yeah.
Like
before seizure warnings, I guess.
Yeah, I know. Before that Polygon episode of Pokemon.
Yeah, that is the thing. What, you know, because I'm watching a lot of like older anime. Sometimes they'll just throw flashing lights at you, and you're like, Jesus Christ! You used to just throw this on there without a second thought, huh?
Mm-hmm. Indeed, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of action, lots of talky talk. But before we get to Utena talky talk, let's do some of our own. How's it going, Joe? You just lost without the lady in your life around.
Yeah.
You just pace wanderously.
I'm totally lost, and I don't do things to make things easier for me, because this weekend I decided I have an old computer, right? And as we know, computers now cost $1 million because thanks to AI data centers or whatever stupid thing is happening. So I have my old computer. I'm setting it up. I've been using it as a server before, right? So I've been kind of using it as my Plex server, but then I bought a NAS. So now I use that as a Plex server. So now I have this other server, but that computer was running Windows 10, which end of life the last year, but then you could get security updates up through this year. But that was going to end. So I'm like, you know what I should do? I should install Linux on this computer. And so I did. I installed Linux Mint on this computer, and everything has become so complicated so quickly. Because all of the things I was using that computer for, which were like playing videos, there's a lot of like me doing like video editing stuff, not actually editing videos, but like attaching different subtitle files and things like that. But that required some programs. I had to install those programs. It turns out installing programs is really weird in Linux, and I have to do all this troubleshooting. It's something I've never
encountered in my life, Linux. Heard tell, but never hands-on with Linux.
The thing is that it, for the most part, everything just works. The problem is that when something doesn't work, well, it's like you have a computer, but you have a lot of control over it, right? So like I turn the firewall on and I can look at all the firewall rules, and it's pretty straightforward. But now I have to, like, anytime I install a program that talks to the internet, I have to figure out what ports that program uses. You know what I mean? There's a lot of like do-it-yourself kind of stuff, which for the most part isn't that hard, but a lot of it's complicated to like understand like what exactly is happening. So you have to do a lot of searching on the internet for stuff. And I was being a fool because I'm like, you know what might be useful? What if I used the Gemini chatbot to help me walk through some Linux stuff? Because it should know how to do this stuff. And so I'm trying to install this one program that can, like, you know, load up disks or whatever. And I spend an enormous amount of time with the Gemini chatbot figuring out what it's doing. And it is constantly telling me to do things that don't really change anything because they're just kind of like settings or tests and things like that. And I get so pissed off at this thing because every time I like add an update, like, hey, this thing didn't work, or like this thing does update, it always starts with like, sounds like you're running into the classic Linux problem of this, or sounds like oh, this seems like this kind of error, but it's like too chipper, and it was pissing me off. And at the end of the day, I was like about to go to sleep. So then I just searched my problem on the internet, and I got a forum post on there that's just like, this doesn't work for some reason. The workaround is to put one disk in and then take it out and then put a second disk in, and then it works. And then I did that and it worked.
Well, it sounds like you really did just
hate chatbots.
Make it
what
things
a useless technology. What an enormous pile of garbage. That I had so much time on that. I could have just looked up some forum that's just like, I don't know why this is happening. Here's the workaround. So I am the fool. Mm-hmm. I'm the fool. Getting a PhD in computers will not save you from this. So you missed out on nothing by not getting one, Sarah.
Okay. Oh, good. Yeah.
In case you were wondering, I know you wake up every night
shitty math
being like, did I ruin my life by not getting a PhD in computer science? And the answer usually is yes, but this time it was no.
Okay, good. No, I am not haunted by my college education selection. I mean, if anything, it's like maybe I didn't super need one at all, or at least not for what I'm doing. But I guess it's just something on paper. Whatever. And how old was your computer?
That one?
Yeah. When did you build it?
When did I get that computer? It might be like 9 years old. I would have gotten that in 2017.
God, that doesn't seem very old. Or that doesn't seem that long ago.
Yeah, well, it is for computers. I mean, it's not for a car, but it is for a computer. Even though nowadays,
I probably built mine or oversaw the building of mine in like 2021.
Yeah.
And I don't want to have to update it anytime soon.
Well, don't worry about it. There's no more RAM or hard drives, so
okay.
You won't have to because you won't be able to.
I won't have the option. Okay.
But don't worry about it.
Copy that.
This is probably going to date this episode. It's
just an ongoing thing.
If you're in the future,
where, like, it's always.
What is?
Sorry. Give the disclaimer to the future.
Oh yeah, if you're in the future and you're wondering what's going on, we're like mid. Actually, I can't tell you how far away or how far through the AI bubble we're in because I don't know where the end of it is. We're at the part where they're gonna quote unquote build these data centers and they're putting all the orders on the parts, and that's now causing shortages of all the parts for these data centers that are totally gonna happen.
I feel like there's just always a shortage of some kind of computer component.
Yeah,
this happens often.
It does always feel like a bad time to build a computer.
Mm-hmm. It's just a bad time for everything, honestly, it feels like.
Just don't buy anything anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. So much that I'm making my own food. That's how desperate we're getting here to not spend money.
You weren't making your own food before?
Sometimes more. I'm like not ordering out.
Listen,
I haven't been doing that.
Get yourself.
I don't have DoorDash or Grubhub or anything. It's all on my phone right now.
Get yourself a $20 waffle maker, and that's one meal out of every day solved right there.
I don't really eat breakfast.
Just eat a waffle every day. You can eat it for dinner.
A waffle? Is that
healthy? I don't think so. But that's a whole meal you don't have to think about. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the simplicity. Just make a waffle every day.
No, my diet is drink coffee, drink multiple cups of coffee between like 9 a.m. and 1 p.m.
Powerful.
And then eat like some kind of meal or leftovers for lunch and dinner and then snack. But like trying to cut back on snacking because I was looking up the acid reflux or heartburn or whatever, trying to figure out like what I'm doing that's probably causing it. I think it's me snacking late at night before bed.
It's true.
Laying in bed. We're not even elevated. We're just laying in bed snacking.
Yeah.
But in like a cleanly way where I'm not getting crumbs all over my sheets.
Right. You use a funnel.
So I'm like, I gotta start. Yeah. I need to start doing. No, I don't do. No.
It's probably also drinking a bunch of coffee in the morning because that's acidic. Yeah. Although if you're not eating anything, I guess it's fine.
Well, it's hard to. Well, like decaf coffee, that would still be acidic, huh? It's not like caffeine's the acidic part.
I don't know.
I need my dessert in a cup in the morning. Oh, God. Well, we normally talk about like what we've been doing, But also, we're covering 3 episodes. So speed run. What? Anything else you've been up to,
What
Joe?
else have I been up to? I'm almost done with my
mentioning.
shows, but I'm not done with my shows. I did finish something. What did I do? I watched Kokuho, a 3-hour Japanese movie about a guy doing kabuki theater and also maybe kind of swiping his friend's inheritance, but also not really. And also it kind of ruins their lives. But then it's okay. Cool movie. It's all in theaters. Even though it came out in like a while ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. In my Disney watch, we got to Beauty and the Beast, a classic.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I didn't remember how much I got to see. I never remember what the characters look like when they're human again. And I was shocked and appalled that Lumiere was not hot.
Oh, yeah, no, we can only have main guy be hot, huh?
I guess.
Or do we think Gaston is hot?
Gaston is not hot. He's like a specific type of guy, you know? But he's awful in a fun way. But he sings a good song.
Got some bangers.
Got some good songs.
Some good music in that one.
Solid movie. Like it a lot. Aladdin's up next.
Ooh, that one's got some great songs too. I enjoyed the sequels to Aladdin even. I think those were direct to VHS, but I remember liking the sequels.
Nice. What about you? What have you been up
to? Traitors has concluded. Spoiler alert for Traitors. Season 4, I think, for US. Hot guy wins. Guy I was rooting for wins. Yay.
And it's just like beating the Beast.
Yep. Night of the Seven Kingdoms ended. I watched that.
Is that good?
That was decent. It was decent. It was kind of like lighthearted buddy in the beginning. It's like really short episodes, so it's a pretty easy watch. So I enjoyed it. So yeah, if you're into the Game of Thrones world at all, we've got Targaryens, and and a couple of them are pretty cute. Yeah, and then the weather was really nice, so I actually like sat outside for like an hour.
Wow.
Of my own volition.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I was under the shade, but it was like breezy and nice. Just sat in a chair and just like closed my eyes and felt the wind and all that. Also picked up a puzzle and was doing a puzzle, and I think I realized like I'm pretty intense about like not leaving things unfinished, and so I was doing it with someone, and I was like doing all of it and not taking any breaks and just trying to do it all in one sitting. It was like a 1,000-piece puzzle. So,
nice.
I'm enjoying it though, so gotta get back to that at some point.
Let me tell you, I have had to ban myself from doing puzzles because I will do that exact thing.
Yeah,
it's
all consuming.
I literally just did a puzzle like straight for like 5 hours one day. And then I just finished it. And I'm like, this was not a good. I should not do this again.
Yeah. Well, watching movies while doing it, watch Stand By Me because they hadn't seen that. And I was like, you haven't seen Stand By Me? It's a good movie. I made them watch Blackfish, one of my favorite documentaries. Still gets me. I'm still crying. And The Fruits Basket also had me crying. Blubbering like a baby, watching everything. And yeah, we have a new course coming out next week. Our next passport course called Earth Hollywood. So we just announced that. People are excited for that. So I got to do a bunch of stuff next week for that. And yeah, stuff. That's all. Okay, enough about us. We got 3 episodes of big, plotty, important Utena to get to.
Yeah.
So let's do it.
Sorry, I was looking at something. Okay, here we are. I'm back. I'm ready to do it. We're ready to talk about Utena. Starting with voice actors. We're going to talk about the voice actors we haven't covered yet. First up is the voice actor for Touga, Kiryu. Big character in these episodes. Jimmy, you need to go sit down. Go away. I'm podcasting right now.
Kitty cat.
No. You're gone.
I want to hear his like meh when you wake him up. I feel like old cats have cute like unhand me meows.
He doesn't really talk that much unless he gets into his cat carrier and then he won't shut up.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm going to pick you up, okay?
Traveling.
I'm going to pick you up. You're going to be chill about being picked up. And you're going to sit in my lap and you're not going to crawl onto the table because you're not allowed on the table, okay? All right.
Look at Joe. Just a cat guy now. We love it.
Hang out. All right, so the voice actor for Touga is Takahito Koyasu. He's the voice of Dio in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Have we had this guy before? I feel like we have, but I couldn't find who he would have been. Yeah, he's the voice of Dio in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. He's Toji in JJK. He's Zeke in Attack on Titan. He's Excalibur in Soul Eater. He's Kuzan in One Piece.
That's your guy.
Yeah.
You love Excalibur.
I love Excalibur. Very goofy character. He's Bobobo in Bobobo. He's Otohori in Fushigi. Yeah, is that someone important?
He's a pretty guy. We'll cover that one day.
Okay. He's Zex in Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, and he's also in the show I'm watching right now. He's Ging Gingham in Turn A Gundam.
So much Gundam.
Done a lot of Gundam. A lot of background characters. So that's that one. Our second voice actor is the voice of Choo Choo, who's Satomi Kurogi. She does a lot of animal voices or like non-human being voices. She's also the voice of Biko in Utena. That's one of the Kashira Shadow Troop. She's the voice of Ushio Okazaki in Clannad.
Oh, God. Okay, I just looked up which character that was again.
Okay.
Let me just sob my eyes out.
She's Chi Yamada in Chi's Sweet Home, which is a cat. Chi is a cat.
Yeah, I've seen images of that one. Distinct cover
art. She's Frosh in Fairy Tail, which is like a little frog guy. And she is Baby Carlman and Flanders, which is a dog, in Victory Gundam. So she's a baby and a dog.
Nice.
And she's a million characters in Pokemon, but the problem she's best known for is being Togepi and everything.
Nice.
So she's the voice of Togepi.
Well, it seems like, I wonder, do they get paid significantly less than like a human voice? I don't know what like what the pay differences is between voice actors on something. I'm assuming it's a lot of lighter.
It's a good question. Like I don't actually know what the pay scaling is or how much it is or whatever. I assume not. Like I assume, it just depends. Maybe I don't know. I guess it depends on how many lines you have. I don't know how they count that. I'm not exactly sure, but I'm trying to think of, there's, who's the guy who does all of the voice sounds for, it's Bradley D. Baker. Yeah. Because I'm watching Avatar with my girlfriend, and he does the voice of Appa and Momo in it. And I remember like watching behind the scenes stuff where he's doing those sounds. It's pretty crazy when somebody does like animal sounds.
Is this her first time watching it?
Yeah.
How exciting. Is this like we're going to dip your toes into anime by watching an anime inspired thing?
She's watched anime before.
Okay. Well, how fun.
Yep.
Great series.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah. So pretty fascinating to watch people do it. They're like doing all this, like they're like holding their throats and stuff like that. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. But let's go into the episodes now. Starting with episode 10 called Nanami's Precious Thing. We open on Saionji getting expelled. Juri and Mickey are like, well, that's what happens when you break end of the world's rules. Recap listener, last episode, he tried to duel Utena outside of... Actually, he just tried to steal Anthe and go to the castle. And then that didn't work. And then he was about to, I guess, just kill Utena. But then Touga jumped in the way. And so now Touga is injured for this episode and next episode. Touga sees him off and says he'll try to get him reinstated. And Saionji, who hasn't pieced together that Touga is the one who's caused everything, gives Touga his exchange diary for him to hold on to. And we immediately cut to Touga throwing it away into an incinerator.
Well, it's like him keeping up the illusion that they're friends or whatever, and then being like, chump.
Yeah, it's very funny.
So, to the viewers, we're not mistaken at all, but about his character.
Yeah, just blinking red lights. Touga is evil. We get the student council elevator scene. They have gotten a new letter that says there needs to be another duel soon. Normally, it would be Toga's turn, but he's still injured. And both Mickey and Juri try to volunteer to go into his place, but he says that there's a new duelist who will fight, and they're both shocked at the news that there's someone else. In the garden, greenhouse. In the greenhouse, Nanami slaps Utena, who just sits there and takes it. And Nanami is angry that Utena got her brother hurt and yells at her until she's stopped by Touga himself, who shows up moments later. He goes to help Utena up and is nice to her, but Nanami is still pissed and storms off. And Toga's like, don't worry about her. She's always like this. Later that night, Utena is curled up in the corner with the lights off. She feels guilty for letting Touga get hurt last episode and wonders if a girl can really be a prince. She's like, is my whole life a mistake because Touga got hurt? Anthe walks in with a box and she's like, she looks into the box and she's like, wow, it looks like something's wrong. And Utena says, yeah, she feels bad about Touga. And she's like, maybe I should pay him a visit in the hospital or whatever, or at his house. And then Anthe is like, I know, you must be hungry. And it turns out she wasn't actually talking to Utena this whole time. She was talking to a kitten that's in the box. She pulls it out. Mm-hmm. They feed the kitten, and Anthe tells Utena that they can bring Touga some roses from the garden. She's like, there's nothing wrong with that. That's like a normal thing to do.
I feel like as a person, or at least when she has the freedom to be herself, assumingly, I feel like Anthe is the closest character to me as a person, just with all the animal antics. And this is a nice scene.
Yeah.
Of like it seeming like she's not listening to Utena, but she is.
It's very funny.
It seems like she wasn't.
The staging is funny. All of the stagings of like the stuff Anthe's doing in all of the episodes kind of leading up to the end of this arc are very funny because she's always setting up the motivation to get the other person to duel them. But she always just does it like it's just a thing that she's doing.
Totally. Oh, you're right. Mm-hmm.
It's very funny. It's just like when in the Mickey arc, she's just like, I like playing piano. Here I go. Do, 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 do. It's like, but then she never plays again. So.
Oh my God, you're right.
That only existed to Tim's
she's
Mickey.
So aware. Yep.
Yeah, she's absolutely doing it. And like with Jury, she's like constantly like handing her orange roses.
Dang.
And then Saionji just exists. Whatever. Anyway.
Yeah.
We get a flashback to a birthday party for Touga back when he was a boy. A young Nanami shows up covered in dirt with a pet kitten for Touga as a gift. And their parents are like, Nanami, you're filthy, get out of here. But Touga stops them and thanks Nanami for the cat. We get a voiceover from Nanami that says her brother was always kind to her. And then she wakes up and sees Touga practicing his sword swings in the yard. And she goes out to tell him that he should be resting because he's still injured. And he's like, I'm cool, don't worry about it. But she's like, no, you have to stop, and says that she wouldn't know what to do if anything ever happened to him. He hugs her and tells her that nothing is going to happen to him. Don't worry about it. She asks him for a kiss, but he says they're not kids anymore and leaves.
Thank God. I was worried. I was like, this is a very... Well, the embrace was very intense. And she was all gazing. I was like, what the hell?
When I first watched this, I was kind of thinking it was that, but now that I'm watching it now, it feels much more like she's just like a little girl. You know what I mean?
She's just, he maybe it was more enabling to her behavior when she acted like that as a child. And so she's just trying to act the way she did when he was giving her attention.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't read that Nanami's brother complex is that she wants to date her brother. I think she just likes being doted on kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, we also get a brief flashback of a box in the rain. Keep that in mind. It's going to come up again later.
Okay. Friggin' triggering.
We cut to Utena and Anthe looking for Touga, but they get redirected to a birthday party he's having at his place. They go to the party and Utena's like, wow, I didn't know it was his birthday, but Anthe did, and she brought a present.
She knows everything.
Very funny. Did you just not, I don't know. It's just like, she was holding a present this whole time, Utena. You didn't ask her what it was for.
Good point.
Jury asks Touga who the new duelist is, but he's like, hey, come on, it's a party, chill out. But Jury's like, but the duel is tomorrow. You got to tell us who it is. Utena and Anthe go to see Touga, who's just like sitting in a chair, like being like...
It's like no one else gets a chair, just him. He gets birthday. This fancy, cushy leather lounger.
His birthday chair.
Everyone else just stands.
Very goofy.
Yep.
Utena specifies that she just came here to see how he was recovering. I didn't come here for your birthday. And Touga laughs and is like, it's very funny that you would say that. But he's like, I'm just glad you came anyway, because I'm laying it on thick. Nanami comes out and smacks Utena's flowers out of her hand, because that's what she brought as like a get well gift. She yells at Utena for being the cause of Touga's injury. Anthe tries to explain that it was actually Saionji's fault, but it stops when Nanami slaps her. Tick that counter up one more. Nanami says that this is actually somehow all Anthe's fault, but stops when she sees the present that Anthe's carrying. She's like, wait a minute. Am I being set up? But it doesn't stop her. Utena's like, what's wrong with you? But Nanami tells Utena that she won't let her get with her brother, and everybody at the party is like, oh my, Utena and Touga? Are they a secret couple? And Utena is like, no, we're not a secret couple. We cut to later where Touga and Utena talk on the porch. Touga apologizes to Utena for Nanami saying that she has a brother complex, and Utena's like, yeah, Mickey already told me that. He tells her about the flashback from earlier where Nanami gave him a kitten, and then he's like, oh yeah, that kitten who miraculously disappeared one day was my favorite gift from her. I'm just saying out loud for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
Anthy shows up and gives Touga his gift, which was the kitten from earlier. Nanami sees this and remembers another flashback where Touga was a child. As a child, was too busy playing with the kitten that she got him to play with her, and she got jealous of the cat.
I know, the cat like nips at him and she smacks it, and then he's stern with her. I'm like, good. Freaking, I've had to do that with young siblings where it's like, knock it off. Like, that's the one time where I'm like, I'm going to raise my voice. As if you're being mean to a little critter. So this is a very authentic sibling. Who doesn't play the kitten? Girl, that kitten's way cuter than you. Get over yourself.
We cut to Nanami back in the present, throwing down a rose at Utena, and she challenges Utena to a duel. And they're like, hold on. You can't just duel somebody like for real. That's against the rules. So Touga gives Nanami a rose seal ring and tells her that she can duel Utena with it. Mickey and Juri are like, are you serious? She was the secret duelist? Come on. We get the Kashira Shadow Troop. They do a skit where Eiko is trying to come up with a name for her kitten, but Biko only suggests bad names. Later, Biko names the cat Giuliano, and the cat is enormous.
Speaking of tubby kitties.
Big cat.
Love a big cat.
Yeah. Don't you hate it when you can't name a thing or process a thing and then it comes back later huge because you didn't do that?
Ah, yes. Totally. Now that you've explained it in
this one was hard. I had to
layman's terms for me.
I had to look up some ones, and then I had to look up an explanation of somebody saying some stuff. I don't even know if I totally agreed with their explanation. This is mine. We then get the Absolute Destiny Apocalypse sequence. Utena gets to the dueling arena, and we see Nanami in a yellow jumpsuit, and also Touga is here.
It's very vibrant.
How do we feel about Nanami's outfit, which does not match anybody else's?
No, it doesn't. And I don't think yellow is her color either. I think it would look cool on someone else. You got thigh-high leather boots.
Yeah, you don't think she can do the Kill Bill fit?
I mean, no. She needs something more frilly. Yeah, I don't think yellow's her color. Or at least not that yellow. Maybe it was more pastel, but it's quite intensely yellow.
Anthy summons the Sword of Dios and the duel begins. Nanami is fast but very amateurish, but she asserts that she knows how to use a sword because her brother is her prince and she'll follow her prince. Utena summons the prince and they merge while Touga watches it firsthand happen, which is clearly why he's here. With the prince powers, Utena cuts Nanami's rose, winning the duel. Utena's like, well, guess the duel's over, but Nanami says no, the duel has just begun, and she pulls out a knife she has hidden in her sleeve and attacks Utena, and it's awesome. Second knife! Nanami grabs her sword.
She is a villain!
Yeah, she grabs her sword and is now fighting two-handed, which is awesome. But she's still not very good at fighting. Touga yells at her to stop.
Yeah, I feel like it's only dual wield if you're able. Having two weapons doesn't make it twice as good. It's like freaking Lara Croft with her dual pistols. How you aiming those things, girl? That seems inefficient and
I feel like
lowering accuracy.
If I'm gonna be in a duel and I don't know how to fight, and I'm going up against somebody who has more experience fighting than me, I feel like you just have to do something to throw them off. Maybe the answer is dual wielding. Maybe they just won't know what to do.
I mean, it sounds like she is somewhat aware that this is how things are done, but it doesn't seem like people in the school in general know that this is a thing. But I guess because she's his sister, she must know it. But I guess the rules weren't super explained, or she's just using this as an excuse to get to fight Utena, even though she's not going to do it by the rules.
It's interesting because she's the first duelist who literally does not care about the premise of the. I mean, I guess Utena also did not care about the premise of the duel, so she's kind of like Utena, and where she's just I'm dueling for a secondary reason. I don't know what this stuff is. Mm-hmm. So even though she's well, the duel's over, she's the duel's not over. I came here to kill you. Come on. Touga yells at her to stop just as she misses a sword thrust, shattering it against the wall, and Utena cuts her hair braid. We get another flashback.
I thought it was the blade. Right, sorry. I thought it was the blade of her sword breaking off, ricocheting, and that's what cut her hair.
Oh, is it? That makes more sense.
It was like her own weapon. I think that's what happened.
That's better.
And
let's see. We get another flashback. We get the full flashback here, where a child Nanami pushes the kitten in a box we've seen periodically throughout the episode into a river to drown. She says it's the kitten's fault for coming between her and her brother, but as she turns to leave, she immediately regrets pushing it in, but isn't able to do anything about it.
Eva, there's no redeeming her in my eyes. She's a kitten murderer.
She is maybe
girl, you suck.
6 years old here?
Whatever. This is like one, I mean, I think it's been discredited, but like the McDonald triad, whatever, of like serial killing indications in adolescence. It's bedwetting, fire starting, and animal abuse or killing of small animals. And she is displaying that one.
She's got one time.
You don't drown a kitten.
I knew this would be big for you.
Oh my gosh. Yes! This is terrible.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
She seems like a goofy bully, but she's a kitten killer.
Okay. Back in the duel, Nanami says that she won't give up, but Touga comes and tells her to stop. He's like, it's all right. I'll protect you. And she hugs him, thinking about how she feels bad about killing that kitten.
I also like how her hair looks here when her hair gets pulled out of the tight braid, crown braid. She looks good with her little bangs.
Yeah. Utena sees Touga hugging Nanami and says, wow, you could be a good big brother sometimes. And Touga replies, of course, I can't ignore a damsel in distress. It's the nature of a prince. He walks off thinking about how he now understands Utena's prince powers as we cut to credits.
He sucks. She sucks. Utena, get your head out of the clouds, girl.
Yeah. But they don't know he sucks is the thing. Because he says all the right stuff. And does all the right things.
Not convincingly.
Yeah.
As a gesture, but not sincerely.
That's true.
But we're literal children. We're middle schoolers. We're not equipped to know the difference, maybe.
So how do we feel about Nanami's story here?
Her crimes. Her war crimes against felines?
Yeah. Do you like this?
Are you got a kid you laugh right now? Are you not outraged? What about this poor little guy is a kid? Oh.
Yeah, I mean, her problem, right, is like she is not able to process this horrible thing that she's done. And so instead of dealing with the fact that this happened, she just doubles down and is like, what I did was right because I need to be with my brother. And now I need to make everything about my brother because if everything isn't about my brother, then I just killed this cat for no reason.
Yeah.
Classic doubling down maneuver. Goes bad for her.
Yeah, so we just don't normally see it at the cost of a cute little animal. But yes, this is the thing we see.
Yep. We're not pulling punches here in Utena.
No. Wild. Freaking. Also, it's like, are you guys trying to make me think that Touga isn't totally a terrible person because he likes animals? But I feel like he'd be someone who only likes it when it's cute and little. And then once it was a grown up, he would lose interest. Like how he's bouncing around between 500 girls. Oh.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you, Anthony.
It's Anthony. Why would you? Sorry. I'm like, Anthony, why would you give him a cat? Just take care of it with all your other menagerie. Like, don't gift a pet to someone.
Yeah. Well, okay. She's like, but this is what I'm saying. Like, she's doing these things to like bait the person into dueling the duel, right? Like, she's always encouraging them on one end, and then Touga's encouraging them on the other end.
Mm-hmm.
That's been true of every episode so far. Except, I guess, yeah, it's been true of every episode. Because we did that with Mickey, we did that with Juri, we did that with Sionji, and we did that with Nanami this episode.
Mm-hmm.
So Anthony's participating in it.
Thanks for pointing that out. You're right. Oh my goodness.
Also, this cat disappears. We don't see this cat again.
Nope. Just like everything else. Just like freaking the boy who was Nanami's.
We're gonna see that kid again. I did see a thumbnail where he's in it.
Oh, okay, never mind.
We're not done with him forever.
The cat.
The cat, I think I don't know. Maybe we're not. He's just not in these next episodes.
Don't be a cat in the Utena universe. Doesn't pan out for you.
You have a 50% chance of survival at best.
At best.
Yeah. Yep, here we go. Touga using his sister to learn about Utena's prince powers.
Mm-hmm. I would like to see an episode where she just eyes are open to how shitty he is and she isn't into him anymore. And even maybe has to fight against him.
Yeah, we don't.
That would be the only That's the character redemption for Nanami that I want. And I don't.
You want Nanami to see that?
Yes, I want her to turn on her brother.
The big ask.
I doubt it's going to happen, but that's what I would like to see. Yes.
Because at the end of this episode, once again, she doubles down. Touga definitely encourages it.
Yes.
You know?
All these girls, I don't like this guy just pulling everybody. I mean, this episode reveals it seems like maybe some people are aware of it, but are tolerating it or at least noting it, but not doing anything against it.
Yeah,
let's
everybody falls under Touga's spell unless your name is Wakaba. And somehow you got stuck under Saionji's spell instead. Not sure how that happened. All right.
It's another big one.
Episode 11 is called Careful Cruelty, the one who picks the flower. Or that flower. We open on Wakaba and Utena hanging out at lunchtime. Wakaba gets Utena to try the box lunch that she made. They have a picnic together, and Anthy comes to join with her lunch, which consists of takoyaki, yakisoba, and some third thing that Choo-Choo already ate. And Utena's like, well, at least it's all food this time. Even though it's like all carnival food. I don't know why you made this.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Nearby, Mickey catches Touga spying on the three of them and asks what he's doing. And Touga says he's watching A Lonely Princess. And Mickey's like, excuse me? But Touga says that he's the only one who can see it. So don't even try, Mickey. You're not in this episode that much. He goes to approach them, and Utena sees Touga from afar while several girls rush up around him to talk to him. But he briefly turns towards Utena and she's like, ooh. Wakaba's like, ooh, what you looking at? And she's like, oh, you're looking at him? And she calls him the prince of the student council disparagingly. But Utena's like, oh, he kind of does act like a prince. We get the student council.
Oh, Utena. Yeah. Get it together. I don't like the Utena. Just shake her out of this daze. He's not that good looking, girl.
Listen,
calm down.
She came to this place to find the prince of her dreams, and so far he is the only person who's even remotely acting like one.
But it's not of her dreams. It's a reality, supposedly. Someone she actually met. That she should remember some of their physical characteristics, as is implied when we see flashbacks, and he has freaking purple hair and not red hair.
You know, it's hard. You know, can you really trust your own memory? We get the student council elevator scene. Touga's like, all right, to recap, Nanami lost the last duel last episode, everybody. Jury accuses Touga of setting Nanami up to fail, but Touga insists that he was only trying to treat his little sister well. And Mickey's like, oh yeah, like what, like your pet? Treat her like a cat? Is that what you're doing? And that's why I'm like, ooh, I don't know if his cat made it. You think he took care of that cat?
I was going to say, you don't want to be treated like a cat in this world.
That's why I'm fearing for that cat.
I don't know. Maybe he gave it to one of his
That's true. That's probably the best
chicks.
Ending, is he regifts it.
Let's hope.
Touga waits for a few beats and says, anyway, it's her fault for losing. Even if somebody sets a trap, it's your own fault for falling into it. A person's deep feelings only leaves them open to be exploited. Thanks, Touga.
I mean,
Mask off.
Gotta see through it. See through the bullshit.
We cut to Utena walking around thinking about how Touga might be her prince. She goes into the greenhouse where Anthy is. She goes to see him at the greenhouse where Anthy also is, and he's talking to her about the picnic with Utena and Wakaba. Anthy says she wants to try to make a lunch like Wakaba's next time because that was so normal, and what I made wasn't quite that. But Touga thinks it's funny that the Rose Bride would make lunches at all. He's like, all you need to do is stay in here in the garden, in your bird cage, because you're a bird. He says this. He's like, why use the metaphor when I could just say it? This greenhouse, which is shaped like a bird case, that's for you. He says that if he was the champion, he'd keep her in here forever. She does not seem happy about that. Utena walks in and accuses Touga of only seeing Anthy as the Rose Bride and not as a person or a girl or something. But Touga counters that she is the Rose Bride, but Utena insists that Anthy is a normal girl. Touga leans over to Anthy. He's like, well, are you a normal girl? And Utena is like, yeah, tell him, Anthy. But Anthy hesitates. And then Utena is like, come on, you have to tell him how you feel. Tell him you hate being treated as a road bride. So Anthy says, okay, I hate being treated as the rose bride. But Touga just laughs and says, yeah, of course she'd say that. Anyway, I didn't even come here to see her. I came here to talk to you, Utena. I have something important to say to you as your prince. Utena is like, my prince, I had a feeling you might be him. And Touga is like, yes, remember how you were crying back then? And she's like, yeah, I was crying. And he's like, if you need more proof, I can do this. And he walks over and holds her hand and leans in as if he's about to kiss her. And she's like, yeah, I do vaguely remember that.
Oh, and she like stands there with her eyes closed.
Oh, she's such a mark.
Awful. Awful.
Touga leans back and says it's inappropriate for two duelists to be acting this way in front of the Rose Bride, and Utena looks at Anthy, who's like looking away, and she gets embarrassed. Anyway, Touga ends the scene by challenging Utena to a duel. Very romantic.
Mm-hmm.
Later that evening, Utena wonders what she should do. She kind of forgot Touga was a duelist, but now that she knows he's the prince, she's like, I'm going to have to fight him. Maybe I should just quit being a duelist, and she considers taking her ring off.
Lame.
Anthy and Utena have tea. They make some small talk about their picnic from earlier, and Utena suggests that Anthy and Wakaba become friends, but Anthy goes quiet. After a little bit of time, Anthy finally admits that she does want more friends, and Utena's like, well, yeah, of course you do. You can make more friends. It's easy. You just have to open up to them. I can help you with that. And Anthy looks at Utena and agrees. Utena walks to the dueling arena thinking that she needs to win so she can still help Anthy. We get the Kashira Shadow Troop, and they do a routine about William Tell, who shoots the apple off of his obedient son's head, except here, he doesn't do it like one time, like in the story. He's done it 37,919 times, and is going to keep doing it until a doctor intervenes. Anyway, stop asking me questions, son. Put another apple on your head.
Story I'm supposed to recognize.
William Tell.
Yeah. Is this like a super well-known thing?
Yeah, it's like a folk.
I just forgot.
Yeah, it's like a folk tale. He's the guy who shoots an apple off of his son's head.
Okay.
He's like a rebel.
I don't recall hearing about this, but
I don't remember exactly the context, but like he had to do that in like some kind of show, or maybe there's like a punishment. Anyway,
apparently an international children's tale that I just missed.
Yeah, there's a very famous song called William Tell Overture that's like that one. That's William Tell.
Okay. I recognize that.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, he's like a revolutionary. Anyway, it's not really revolutionary if you're just pretending to be William Tell, but you just keep doing the same thing over and over and over again. And then when your kid is like, why are we doing this? And you're like, don't question it. Just keep doing it over and over again. Love to pretend to be revolutionizing the world while I'm actually just recreating it exactly the same over and over again.
Oh.
We get Absolute Destiny Apocalypse.
Yes.
Yeah. Touga's motivation to keep everything the same. Utena gets to the arena and asks Touga if they have to fight, and he just nods. Utena draws the Sword of Dios, and the duel begins. Touga, as expected, is very good at sword fighting, and Utena is having a rough time. So Touga's just kind of wondering when she's going to summon the power of Dios. He starts winning and thinks that she's going to summon the prince now, which she does. We see the spirit of the prince merge with Utena, and she and Touga lunge at each other like we've seen before. However, partway through, Touga pulls out of his lunge and opens himself up to attack. Utena sees this and is reminded that he is her prince, so she breaks her stance, and Touga is easily able to break her rose and win the duel.
Giant eye roll. Don't fall for this shit.
Taking huge L's. The Touga prince gambit worked.
It shouldn't have.
The Sword of Dios disappears from Utena's hand, and Touga says that Utena is now free from the duels. But Utena asks Touga not to take Anthy away from her. She's like, she wants to be an ordinary girl again, and I have to help her out. You don't need to revolutionize the world for that to happen. If I leave now, she's going to be all alone again. But Touga's like, wow, you really don't get this at all, do you? And he asks Anthy if she's happy being the Rose Bride, and Anthy flatly replies, yes, I'm happy to be the Rose Bride. And then he continues asking her if she likes being alone, and she agrees. And then Touga explains that she's the Rose Bride and she has to follow her master's wishes. She didn't want to be a normal girl because she wanted it. She wanted it because you wanted it. And Utena's like, what? No, that was not an act. You were real. I know you were real. But Anthy just clings to Touga and the two of them leave. Utena collapses and is like, there's no way all these memories I had with her weren't real, right? There's no way that could be true. It can't be true, she screams as we cut to credits.
Oh, good episode.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. In the greenhouse, I was like, oh, that's definitely what's happening. Because she like didn't say anything until she said, tell him this, that, whatever. Didn't say anything until she said, but it's like with the friend thing, it seemed like genuine with the hesitation and all that. So, oh.
Yep.
They're friends. Utena cares about her.
Yeah. Anthy, very interesting in this because she does, despite the fact that I'm talking about how like, oh, she's like baiting people with doing the things the other episodes and she's participating. She is also a person, right? Which we could tell here when she has the conversation about wanting to make stuff, wanting to make friends, that kind of thing. But she's very hesitant in expressing her own desires.
Yes. She's getting around to, I don't know what the duration of time was that she was with Utena, and if that was the longest stretch she had to be with anyone, or she'd been with Saionji. I mean, if they're doing these recurring, then surely Touga has had her in the past since he was able to be Saionji in the little duel they had in the Kendo gym. And they seem to have rapport. They like seem to step right back to whatever dynamic they had maybe previously. But I guess that's more for discussion in episode 12. But what are your thoughts, Joe? What are your feelings?
Yeah, I mean, I like this episode. I think we get the kind of reveal about like what's going on with Anthy. I think, we get all the hints that need to be that this is not true. Like she's not just the Rose Bride, even though nobody else can see this. And specifically Touga can't see this, which may come back to bite him next episode. The thing I think is really interesting about these episodes and about like, because this is the arc where Touga is the challenger, but we don't get any motivation from him, right? Like he doesn't have to be, we don't get any flashbacks about him. We don't get any kind of explanation. He doesn't need to be baited into the duel or motivated at all. He just shows up and does it, but we don't know really why. I'm
guessing it's some kind of, I grew up and I had everything, so I was bored, so I like mess with other people's things to entertain myself. Because I mean, the most we've gotten in flashbacks is with Nanami and then with Saionji when they see Utena in the coffin. And that scene, like he, even back then, however long ago that was, he was like parading a certain image, but then going and doing things to meddle, I think, for his own satisfaction. So
yeah,
I'm not sure if we will get it, but I'm assuming it's something along those lines of,
yeah. No, I mean, I think
I'm a pretty rich boy that's bored.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds basically right.
Dabble.
Like when he talks with Anthy, he's just like, I'm just going to keep you in this birdcage. I'm going to keep you where you already are. Basically, it's like, my plan to revolutionize the world is to keep everything the same, which is why I'm like, my interpretation of the William Tell thing is like, I'm going to posture myself like I'm revolutionizing the world, but I'm actually just repeating the same thing over and over again. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to hold it in place.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, it seemed, I was like, I can't tell what the world is exactly, or if he has somehow got ties to it from whatever that phone call he made, but it seems like he's got, maybe he's not the world, but I feel like he's got some kind of something going on.
Yeah. I mean, he is the student council president, right? Like he is the top guy.
Yes.
So, makes sense that people on top don't want to don't want things to change.
Yes. Hopefully Utena just rallies the troops and we all turn on him. But I guess our student council arc will end soon. So
yeah. I mean, it doesn't mean we're done with them. It just means they're not the main focus.
No. Yeah.
Yeah. Should we?
More just intro, but yeah.
Do the last one?
Yeah, let's get to it. Episode 12.
All right. Episode 12 is called For Friendship,
good one.
Perhaps. We open on a recap of last episode where Utena loses the duel and Anthy goes with Touga. It's the next day and Utena skips class, so Wakaba goes to see her in her dorm and Utena is moping around, so Wakaba tries to cheer her up and figure out what's going on. Utena gets flashbacks of Anthy and Choo-Choo leaving. Wakaba notices that her, prince uniform has been ripped and offers to fix it, but Utena says it's fine, she'll just use her other one. We cut to school the next day where Utena is wearing the normal girl's uniform. All the other girls think it's cute, except for Wakaba, who hates it. And Utena says it's just normal and that she'll wear it from now on.
She looks really good in this uniform. Like the color palette suits her hair color so well.
Yeah.
Like, as I feel like the pink clashes with the black and red, but like I think it really suits the school uniform. I know it's like, oh no, this is not what she wants. But I'm like, she looks so good. I'm with the masses. She looks great.
Anthy shows up and greets Utena and Wakaba, and Utena tries to keep it together. And Wakaba's like, oh, I knew it. You guys had like a fight or something. That's why your interaction was kind of awkward. But Utena says she just needs to be normal. She's like, I just have to be normal. We get the student council elevator scene where Touga announces he's the new champion. Jury asks how he won, and Touga says he just played the part of the prince to a lonely princess. And he's like, they always end up together at the end, don't they? And Jury comments that he's not with Utena in the end, so I guess it's not over. And he's like, yeah, you're right. And also, very clearly, Jury and Mickey hate that Touga won.
Yes.
Anthy offers to wait outside, but Touga tells her to stay in the meeting and be at his side. Wakaba and Utena get lunch, and Wakaba tries to figure out what's going on with Utena, but Utena is not giving her anything to work with. Touga and Anthy approach them, and Touga compliments Utena's uniform and asks her out on Sunday while putting his arm around her shoulders. And Wakaba's like, Utena, are you just gonna like let him do this? You're not gonna tell him to shove off? But Utena does not do anything. Touga's like, why won't you answer? And then he grabs her hand, and Wakaba's like, come on, Utena, you gotta do something. But she still doesn't. So Wakaba grabs her water glass and tries to splash Touga, but he dodges and it gets all over Anthy. And Wakaba's like, oh, I'm sorry. But then she's like, wait a minute. No, this is somehow all your fault, isn't it? Wakaba starts accusing Anthy of...
Why we gotta be hating? No, it's not her fault.
It's the second time someone's done it. Like, this happened in the Nanami episode 2 episodes ago where she, like, hits Anthy. And then she's like, wait a minute. This is your fault, isn't it? And like, kind of true. It's kind of true is the thing. Yeah. Like, they seem to unconsciously know it's true, even though they can't put it into words what's actually happening. But
I guess so.
It is kind of what's happening. Anyway, upon hearing this, Utena slaps Wakaba, and Wakaba is stunned for a moment, but then smiles and he slaps Utena back and is like, finally you reacted to something. Utena gives Anthy her handkerchief.
I was gonna be like, no, don't slap people, but I guess it was... She got to slap back, so it's okay.
Yeah, they're friends. Sometimes you rough each other up a bit. Utena gives Anthy her handkerchief to dry off, and Touga and Anthy take their leave. Utena asks Wakaba to stop criticizing her, and Wakaba says no and runs off. We get another student council scene, but this time it's just Touga and Anthy drinking tea, and Toga's on the phone with one of his ladies who calls him over, and he leaves and tells Anthy to wait there. And while waiting, Anthy imagines Utena sitting across from her and looks down at Utena's handkerchief. Later, Wakaba and Utena decide to talk it out by the wall where the Kashira Shadow Troop performs, but it's during the day, so you can just see it.
Oh, I know. It's cool. Yeah, this is a cool scene.
They're being real, so it's in the light. They're not doing the allegory of the cave. Anyway, Wakaba asks Utena if, like, is this about Touga? But she can't really figure out what's going on with her. And Utena insists that she's just being normal. But Wakaba says it's not normal for her. And Utena's like, what is normal for me? And she thinks again about her time with Anthy. Eventually, Wakaba's like, look, I don't get what's going on here, but you're driving me crazy. Whatever you lost back there, you just need to take it back. You're, like, supposed to be cool and powerful. And Utena's like, I need to take back what I lost, and thinks about her time with Anthy again. And then she gets it together and apologizes to Wakaba for slapping her earlier. And she says her uniform doesn't really suit her either. And then she kisses Wakaba on the forehead and says she'll take back what she lost. Lieutenant.
Okay, yeah, I like this. Wakaba for the win, coming in, friend.
Yeah, it turns out you actually can get somebody out of their, like, emotional spiral by just talking to your friend, something that nobody in the student council ever did. You know, you just have a friend that'll tell you like it is. They can help you out. Utena goes to the greenhouse.
Yeah, I feel bad for being suspicious of Wakaba earlier.
It's okay.
Continue.
Utena goes to the greenhouse where Anthy is tending to the flowers, and Touga is making out with some chick like a couple feet away from her. That chick leaves, and Utena talks to Touga. He asks if she's here to accept his date offer, but instead she challenges him to a duel. We get the Kashira Shadow Troop, and they do a skit about how normalcy means different things to different people, and then they fly away on a spaceship at the end. Utena makes her way to the dueling arena while some dramatic piano music plays. It's pretty good.
Yeah, this is a cool
On the way, Juri gives her a sword because Juri's like, I need you to beat Touga. That guy sucks. Utena makes her way to the dueling arena, and Touga asks her why she wants to duel, and Utena says she wants to take something back that's important. And he's like, you want to take back yourself, huh? As he points to Anthy. He's like, well, but I'm not going to lose because, I'm trying to win over here. He pulls out the Sword of Dios from Anthy. We get that whole scene, but he's in it this time. Utena strikes a pose to start the duel, but Touga tells her that there's an additional way to use the sword, and he calls Anthy over to give it the power of the Rose Bride, which consists of him holding it out, and then she leans down and kisses the tip of the sword. And Utena is looks away. She's like, I can't watch this. I can't watch this weird symbolism happen in front of me.
Yeah. Don't love that. A thought for the scene where it's summoning the Sword of Dios. Only if you have long hair can you do that, because you gotta look super epic with your swishy long hair in that animation. That makes everyone look so cool.
This is why Mickey.
Sorry, Mickey, you weren't caught out.
I was about to say that. Yeah. He was never gonna win. He was never even in the running.
Not destined. No. Well, now let's go back.
Anyway, Anthy does this, and the sword radiates with red light as the power of the Rose Bride fills the Sword of Dios. And it's pretty cool, but also it's really flashing.
It is very cool looking. Everything's about to be.
They start to duel, and Anthy thinks that there's no way Utena can win and feels bad for her. Very early into the duel, Touga breaks Utena's sword and starts to swipe at her uniform while taunting her for wanting to be the prince without understanding how the power of Dios even works.
Gotta get some skin reveal. Get our tiny little outfit more exposing.
Yeah.
Just swish, swish, bye-bye clothes.
Utena keeps fighting, and Anthy wonders why she do that. She's like, why doesn't she just give up? It's totally pointless. There's no way she can win. But Utena says that maybe she doesn't understand everything, but she's still going to take back who she was. And Utena blocks Touga's sword with the little amount of sword she has left. Very similar to the scene in the first episode where she does the same thing with the kendo sword. Anthy sees this and is like, wait a minute. And she's like, that's impossible. She's just no way she can win. It's already over. But then she sees the scene again and she's like, wait a minute. I've seen this scene before. Back in episode 1. I know how this goes. It's just like how it happened before. And we get a brief flash of the prince from before as it, I guess, imbues Utena. And suddenly the power of the Rose Bride breaks and Anthy sheds a single tear. So the sword goes back to normal. Touga and Utena clash, and somehow Touga loses the fight in the same parallel to her beating Saionji in episode 1. Utena declares that she has taken back who she was. Utena leaves the dueling ground.
Get wrecked.
For real. We're so happy he lost. Utena leaves the dueling grounds, and in a scene similar to episode 1, Anthy greets her, and she says that she's the Rose Bride, and is like, I'm gonna be with you now. And Utena's like, never mind all that, let's just go home, as we cut to credits.
Yay! Yep. This is a really great set of episodes, and I am kind of concerned that we're just gonna go straight to, freaking goofy ass episode next and just cut all the tension we've built up. But there's bound to be a comedy one in the next
let me look at I'm gonna see what the first episode of, we're in the Black Rose saga. It's called Tracing a Path. It looks kind of serious.
Okay, good. The Black Rose saga, that sounds sick. We're about to get awesome up in here.
It's gonna get awesome. If I remember this next arc, it's gonna be kind of intense at parts. We're gonna see some characters that we brought up in the first part. We're gonna get a little bit more out of some people that we saw briefly from before. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And in the spirit of looking forward to that, we want to reflect on where everyone stands at this time.
Yeah. So I was doing my little summary of what everybody wants, or what I'm pretty sure everybody wants. That we've learned from the student council thing, right? So Mickey, his whole thing is he's trying to reclaim his imagined past of I used to have this blissful life with me and my sister, both piano prodigies playing in the garden, even though that was absolutely not true at all. And he's just become obsessed with recreating a thing that didn't happen. So that's his deal. Juri's deal is that she wants to have her feelings acknowledged and returned to her, right? Because it's believe in miracles and they'll hear your feelings. That did not happen to her, and she's very angry about it. So she is trying to have her feelings returned. Saionji is basically his whole deal is he just wants to prove he's better than Touga. It seems like he keeps telling himself that he's like in love.
Maybe he knows what's up, and he's like, Touga is such a shithead that it's like, I can't let such a crappy guy be better than me.
He does
maybe
it's interesting how they all kind of hate Touga. Like you get the sense, especially in this last episode, that like Jury straight up hands Utena a sword to go beat him. But they don't like him. Like they've been kind of acting like they're friends. Him and Mickey, like Mickey kind of acts like he's friends. Jury, he's there and talks to them. But they hate this guy, and Saionji also hates this guy, but in like a really weird way.
They all kind of have to put up with them.
Yeah, he can't put it into words, right? He's just like, oh, Toga's a guy I can never lose to. I'll never admit that I lose to him. I hate this guy, but he doesn't really know why. And he even like when he's leaving, he's like, I give you my meaningful exchange diary, Touga. And Toga's like, yes, I will take good care of it, but immediately burns it. Embarrassing. But yeah, like Saionji is, afraid of being a beta, so he just needs to prove he's better than Touga by winning a duel. Utena wants to be a prince. She's kind of reverted back to how she was at the beginning. She's still on her prince quest. That's quintessential to who she is. That's not. She can't go back to being.
I'm guessing this next bit is going to be now that. Sorry, we might be having a little bit of lag on Discord. I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
Because you're like.
Oh, go ahead.
So sorry, everyone. We'll see what this looks like in edit for me to tackle. Well, I'm imagining part of it now is going to be her trying to like build up Anthe like as a person but learning how to do it in a way that isn't like a command, like encouraging Anthe to be forthright with her feelings rather than asking or eliciting a response as the fiance of the Rose Bride.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting,
like,
right?
Making Anthe her own person. I'm assuming that's going to be part of her thing now.
Yes. Because like the whole thing with Utena is that she keeps asserting that she wants to be normal, but her normal is not the same normal as like what it is for Wakaba, right? Like, and Wakaba's like, listen, you can't be like me. Like, you got to be like you. And that's this whole last episode, right? And that's good. So I think, the thing with Anthe is like, Anthe, you got to be like you. You can't be like me, Utena. You need to be like you, Anthe. And so that's how she is kind of like gaining gleams of who she is as like an underlying person. We've seen a little bit of that. And then Touga just wants to maintain the status quo. He just wants to keep everything the same. He's very invested in making sure that everybody stays in the student council. He wouldn't let Mickey quit. You didn't want Mickey to dissolve the student council. He needs everything to stay the same.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's on top of everything. And if things change, he may not be on top of everything anymore.
Gotcha. Well, okay. So Nanami got the rose ring, but she's not on the student council like Utena. So I wonder if there's going to be like, I saw some thumbnails with her in her outfit again. So she's around as a duelist moving forward.
Yes, she's still a duelist.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it'll be interesting where that go, where that kitten murderer gets up to next. We're gonna keep our eyes on that one.
Keep our eyes on that one. Yeah. So how'd you feel about the student council arc?
This set of episodes is my favorite. I like there sadly not very much choo-choo action.
Yeah.
Just munching on his crackers for the most part. But yeah, I feel like these episodes really brought it around for me. Not that it was bad before, but like I feel like invigorated and excited to see what's happening next versus like before it was very much like Saturday cartoons. Let's just turn this on and see what happens kind of vibe.
I think these are interesting because it's like I have a good understanding now, or I feel like at the end of the episodes, I have a good, like I'm understanding what's happening in the show. Not so much like what's literally happening in the show, like what the Rose Bride is, who Dio is or Dios is, all this other stuff. But like I understand what mechanically the show was doing, which is like, oh, these are all of these people's like personal problems that they aren't processing. And so this is them, trying to revolutionize the world. That is try to overcome these problems they have without actually addressing them. But I still don't know what any of that stuff is. You know what I mean? Like, what's with the castle?
Yeah. Well, does it seem like older shows, it's more obvious what the like, because you're watching it and you feel like that, like the intent, not just watching it as a viewer, but like thinking like the this kind of device, or this is what they're trying to get at with this, rather than kind of going with it. Is that because you've seen it before and it's easier for you to look at that, or is it like an older series, it's more blatant what they're doing, and or are you just kind of, when you watch all anime, pretty analytical of like why things are happening rather than just watching it as it is?
Yeah, that's a good question, because like there's certain shows, so you can kind of so you can watch anything with like an analytical lens, right? If you want to. I would say most shows, especially like, I mean, anime, because it's like mostly children's media, for the most part, it's not going to serve you very well. Like having if I had like a really close read of Demon Slayer, I don't think I'm going to come up with some like, I don't think there's going to be a lot there, right? Like that probably isn't worth your effort. You're probably supposed to just watch that show and have a good time and look at the pretty colors and stuff like that. Like it's kind of a spectacle show. And like Utena is also a spectacle show, right? Like it's all these big set pieces and montages and stuff that looks cool. But I feel like there's a certain vibe to a show where you can kind of understand that if you try to read into it, it will actually have stuff for you to read into. Like it will kind of meet you where you're at looking at stuff. And like a lot of shows do have this. Usually it's by reputation. So I look at this show because I already knew that people like had deep thoughts about it. So I'm like, okay, I need to like look at this like that, right? But it's hard because sometimes you don't necessarily know. Because again, like this is Utena is also for kids, right? Or like, whatever age demographic it's for. It still falls under the category of like children's or like teen media. And so you wouldn't know, right? Like if this was just a show you'd never heard of before and were watching it for the first time, you might have just been kind of like, watching it like any other thing, not like super paying attention. I think you just have to like figure out the signals of like, oh, wait, hold on. This actually means something. Like I can imagine watching this for the first time, like not knowing the reputation and hitting one of the Kashira Shadow Troop things and being like, wait a minute, they're talking about this thing that's happening in the episode. And then being like, wait, were all of those actually about something? So yeah, it's not easy. I mean, I don't want you to feel like dumb or like you're not getting it because you're not finding it all in the very first watch you do. This is the thing I'm specifically looking for.
I'm excited where we go from here. That's my big.
Me too. This next arc is the one I remember the least.
Oh, okay.
Which means either
must be really good.
Which means either it's not good or I probably didn't understand it. I'm guessing I just didn't really understand it the first time I watched it. Oh
God! And if Joe didn't understand it, then I
wasn't trying that hard.
God, well, I'm not trying hard. I can barely watch the episodes right without missing like a critical ending scene.
No, you have to get used to watching stuff like. I mean, this is the thing is like I've been I listen to a lot of other podcasts where people do this type of thing with like other stuff, and so you have to you kind of have to show up knowing how to do the thing in order to do the thing.
Gotcha.
And who knows? Maybe I suck at. Maybe all of this is wrong, and there's another podcast that does it perfectly. Probably true. But,
But do they do it as fun as us?
But that's true. Yeah, we're not here to be perfect. We're here to have a good time as friends on our little journey through shoujo. Right. Here we go. I will say, it's cool that there's action in this. I think the action's pretty good. I like the sword fight in this one.
Yeah, I know. Joe never would have dipped his toe into shoujo as a genre at all if there wasn't sword fighting in this one, as we discussed in our very first ever recording of this podcast, which is available as a bonus episode for anyone who doesn't check that out.
Yeah,
you want to compare, right? Because we were almost not going to mention it this time, but we hit 100 episodes.
Yes,
of the main recordings, I believe, and
the main feed.
Yeah, if anyone wants to compare what it was like when we, it was a different format, but our kind of demo episode that we released as a bonus, maybe for our 1 year anniversary, something like that. It's on the feed, so you should definitely check that out.
Yep. Check out other shows.
Yeah.
Rate us 5 stars.
Go us.
Leave us a comment. Tell us if we're doing a good job. Do you want 100 more episodes? Who knows? Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. If you don't, it doesn't matter because we're probably going to do it anyway. So
that's right.
But yeah, thanks for your support, everybody. If you've made it this far in the episode, we assume you're a true fan, and we'll tell you the deep stuff, the deep cuts.
Or you fell asleep.
Or you fell asleep.
Pause it or set a sleep timer.
Have you ever fallen asleep while listening to a podcast?
Yeah, most nights. That's what I
really?
put on some of my. Well, it's normally like. Yeah, like, okay, so I have like some slower, I don't listen to as much true crime podcasts as I did, and the ones that I'm still following are like really like chill voices, and so those normally are like lull me to sleep, so I just put on like a 15-minute sleep timer and just listen to that, but not really actively listen, but just kind of that way I can like hear the voices fade and I know I'm falling asleep, so that's what I do most nights.
Okay. Cool.
I don't want to, because then if I'm like there in the silence, then it's me and my thoughts, then I'm never going to go to sleep. Just think
fair.
Forever.
That's fair. Fair point.
Mm-hmm.
All right. What did we learn?
Lesson. If you get slapped, slap back. The only reasonable. Stop taking it, Anthony. Give a good smack in return.
Yeah. You gotta, your normal isn't everybody else's normal, and sometimes you just gotta take off in your UFO ship. You just gotta own it.
That's right.
If you're gonna duel someone, most time people think you're dueling for honor or something. But like, if you're actually secretly dueling someone to kill them, you should absolutely hide a second dagger up your sleeve.
Ideally, knowing how to wield it.
And dude, imagine if she like knew how to parry with it. Mm-hmm. She'd be unstoppable.
Crazy. Yeah. She'd be Kill Bill for real.
Yeah.
Is no one gonna? Okay, they all have like rapiers. I guess it's like it'd be nice to. I want a katana up in here.
What did Sionji have? He didn't have a. He had because he's holding it like because he's a kendo guy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Because Juri and Mickey are both fencers. Nanami's doing whatever because she doesn't know how to sword fight. And Touga was doing it one-handed, right? So he's also a fencer.
Yeah. This isn't even like Japan necessarily, right? That this world is set in. This is just some mystical. Yeah.
Well, we actually learned a little bit about it in the manga.
Yakisoba and friggin'. Okay.
In the prologue.
Well, I'm excited to read that. Oh.
But yeah, no, this is like a European style place.
Yeah, very much.
The only thing that's not is like their uniforms are very like Japanese, like the sailor style.
Yep.
But the architecture, the way they're the activities they're doing, I guess kendo is Japanese, so that's kind of weird too. Like not really fitting in. So it's just kind of a mishmash.
Gotcha. Okay, well, friggin' that's it. That's all, folks.
Yep.
Episodes 10, 11, 12 were awesome, and I have high hopes for 13, 14, and 15.
All right.
With slight dread for goofball episode, but we'll find out next time. So make sure you join us next week on Shoujo.
Yeah, 3 eps.
Thanks for listening, everyone.